Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil. Having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.
For generations, fans of IndyCar could only dream of stepping into the cockpit and feeling the rush of going wheel to wheel at over 200 miles per hour. Thanks to the latest in sim racing technology, we can get one step closer. Talented, fearless drivers battle it out in virtual race cars to claim supremacy at some of the world's most demanding tracks. This is the RIL, Schaeffer's IndyCar Series, presented by Raceverse.
Hello and welcome to round number 3 of the Schaeffer's IndyCar Series from Pocono Raceway in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania. We're back for 200 miles here in the Schaeffer's IndyCar Series. We're at qualifying right now, about 2.5 minutes left. And let's have a look here. So our winner from last season, Dakota DeMade, on the track right now. Currently provisional pole sitter is Caleb Bensi. He's already done his lap for tonight. Currently averaging 215 miles an hour. We'll see what Dakota can do. So the past 2 seasons, we've ran the Pocono Legacy version. That's a little bit older version of the track, a little bit bumpier, basically a 2008-2009 scan from iRacing, whereas this version, it's quite a bit smoother, and that was scanned, I believe, in about 2016. So our previous winners from previous seasons, Dakota won last season at the Legacy version, and then Alex Van de Zandt, not here today, won in the inaugural event here in the RIL. Got some new names at the top of the board right now, though, on that top 5. I see Vanini, Wheeler, and Schlegel in that top 5. Not a good lap there by our previous champion of the race here, though, as Schlegel pulls it into the pits. James Watson on the track, our Turbo Series champion, running really low in turn 1. Yeah, good to have everybody out here tonight as Neil Lusher on track. And we'll see what Neil can do out here. The field's really close between Caleb there at the top, 215.088 mile per hour, down to Christian Alesio at 212. So only 3 miles an hour separating the top to the bottom of the track here as we see Neil complete his qualifying lap. 27 cars going to start here tonight. I wonder if Dakota might start from the pits here tonight. As Lusher comes across, what can he do? That was a warm-up. Okay, there he jumps up to 22nd. So that will be our qualifying. As qualifying comes to an end, we'll pull up our grid for tonight. Trying to get our grid up here for tonight. So on the pole here tonight, Caleb Bensi at a 2:15.088. Good to have Caleb back at the top. He missed last week's race, but we do have a drop round. But that first round at Homestead not treating him the best either. So he has to jump back, get back to the top here tonight. Antonio Bonini there in P2. Scott Wheeler, P3. Nicholas Isidro there in P4. Hannes Schlegel, P5. Christian Jasper in P6. Followed by Alex Simkowski, P7, Andrew Spates, P8, Christopher Kresge, good run in P9, Caleb Morrissey, P10, Joseph DeCiro, P11, Stephen Ritters in P12, Michael Holler, Lucas Santos, Chris Albee back last week, missed the first round. Shane Coogan was the top of the board in practice, comes in at a P16. Jonathan Libertor, P17, Thomas Yates, P18, coming to us from apparently Australia, is Thomas Yates there. Drew White in P19, Matthew Cosgrove, P20, James Watson, Neil Lusher, Dakota DeMade, our champion, as I mentioned, Lewis Woodall, P24, and rounding out the field, Kyle Mundell, Gavin Sanders. Not a very good run by Gavin there. I wonder if they're just trying to hang out at the back. Christian Alasho there in P27, our final qualifier here for tonight. As our leader pulls away, we'll get everything going for everybody here tonight. 80 laps, 200 miles. This is, so at the Indianapolis round, we run 120 laps, so 300 miles, so a little bit shorter race today. But it's been a good one the last 2 years, the last 2 seasons. A lot of fuel strategy, a lot of different strategies going forth in the race. And another good news, Gary Godso, my broadcast partner, will be back in the booth next week. We're going to be running Daytona Roval, so it's going to be good to have Gary back. Gary's in the booth in another series starting in about an hour, and that's why he can't join us here for tonight. Let me know in the chat who you're rooting out there for tonight as the pace car is about to duck in. And we have our green flag. Get a little bit better view of the field here. 4 and 5 wide down the front straightaway. They go into turn 1. Only 3 turns here at the Pocono Raceway. Caleb Bensi out to the lead. Gaggle of cars behind him. We've got battles for 4th and 5th, and we've got a car up against the wall. No caution yet. And there it is. Caution flag is out. Trying to see, I think, as mentioned, several cars in the wall. Dakota really taking a defensive run through here, as did Gavin Sanders. There's a lot of damaged cars, it appears. Let's get a replay of what might happen to Cosgrove there. Let's go back, see what we can figure out. This is kind of what happened in real life Indy cars. A lot of cars coming down the straightaway here. Going turn 1 and 2. I think it's already happened in front of, yeah, we've got several cars. Santos in the wall there. Shane Coogan is in the wall as well. Not a good day for Shane. See what we can figure out. Where did this start at is what I'm curious about. Looks like it starts Santos up in the wall high early in turn 2. There's a lot of push, a lot of understeer. We've got a lot of good cars out of this race early, or at least damaged. Drew White in the back as well. And that Rainbow Warrior livery. Christian Alesho makes it through, as does James Watson. Looks like Neil Lusher made it through as well. All right, let's head back to live pictures, figure out where we're at. We've got cars down to 20th spot damage. It looks like Shane's getting off okay. Probably a little bit of damage there. Desiro, a lot of cars able to get repairs. Cosgrove still on pit lane. Santos, that's going to be day done. Libertor, also day done. Thomas Yates, Drew White as well. So about a half a dozen cars. I see Dakota and Kresge topping up on fuel. Yeah, tough first lap. I think some drivers out there saw that coming. And kind of steered towards the back with Gavin Sanders, Dakota, opting to kind of not qualify at the fastest speed, just getting around there. At least that's what I'm guessing their strategy was. If they get up onto the podium, we'll know if that was their strategy. We'll ask them about it. Well, at this point, we might get into a place where we have a lot of green flag running. So we'll see what happens here. Looks like we're going to have one more lap behind the pace car. And that will give me a chance to go to a commercial.
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer, and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
All right, we are back. Pace car about to duck into the pits. Caleb Bensi is our leader coming back to green. Antonio Benini there in P2. Isidro P3. Isidro's looks like he had some internet connection issues in that first race, caused some issues. It looks like he's doing a little bit better today, so that's good to see. Jasper there in P4. Scott Wheeler in P5 on a Schlegel in P6. Caleb Morrissey in P7, Simkowski in P8. Long pace lap here. Just like the Indianapolis Motor Speedway where they have a really long pace lap. Officially, 5 cars out from that first lap incident. Pace car ducks in, and we're heading back to green. We've tried this before, side by side. Maybe not quite. They got 3 wide between, I think that was Morrissey and Schlegel. Got a car diving low there. I think that might have been Haller. Gavin Sanders looking inside of Ritter's there. Sanders in the VOR livery there, Views livery by Ritter's. Has to get back out of it though. A lot of aero push in that third corner. Side by side is Sanders on Holler. Sanders looking inside of Ritter's now. As up ahead, Spates battles with Wheeler and Simkowski. Simkowski running the Elio Castroneves livery there, moving up to P7. Sanders still on the inside of Wheeler. Fellows all be diving underneath inside. Still side by side is Albee and Spates. Sidro has taken the lead over Bensi. See if we can get a replay that if that happened in the last. Yeah, so there it is. Let's get a little bit back. This is a replay heading back. Isidro's gonna look inside. No. Through turn 3. Gonna make that happen going into turn 1 is what we're gonna see here. It's a good run. And takes over that position. I wonder if Caleb, heading back to live pictures, if Caleb just wanted to get some air so that he could save a little bit of fuel behind Isidro. As Caleb tries to make that move on Isidro. Had it for a moment. Isidro comes back on the high side as they head down into turn 2. Antonio Benini and Christian Jasper just lurking off picture there in 3rd and 4th. I'm gonna go on board with Benini here, watching this battle at the front. He's battling with Jasper there. Looks like this is probably Benini's, one of his home tracks here at East Club, Pennsylvania. I see the information there. Jasper looking inside of, or nearing Benini there. Wasn't quite looking inside. Lewis Woodall battling with Albee there. I think Lewis was saying that this is one of his better tracks. So, started 24th, currently up to 11th. Slightly involved in that first incident, but has been repaired and he looks pretty quick. So, it looks like that incident not causing any issues for Albee. Or sorry, for Woodall. Shane Coogan also moving back up through the field. He's in 15th. After that damage, that looked pretty bad, but something I've come to know with Shane, he can drive through a little bit of damage on that car. Horatio there in P17, up 10 spots so far today. Caleb Bensi lurking behind Isidro. Let's go on board with Caleb here. Currently, Caleb has the fastest speed so far tonight. Through turn 3, Caleb has a pretty good run on Isidro, but in this third corner, you can lose all that speed, all that you've been trying to gain that previous lap. Jasper trying to work on Bonini there for the third spot. Gavin Sanders up to 5th position after starting 26th, so that's our biggest mover of the race right there. Looking through the field for any other battles that might be taking place. Watson and Lusher and Alessio there. Battle between Mundell, Spates. Got Mundell looking inside of Spates. Alessio trying to make that work. Goes inside. Inside of Mundell. Alessio just a little bit of understeer there. Not able to hold on to that position, and Mundell takes the high side to make that work. We go on board with Watson there. It looks like it could be exciting from his viewpoint. I see up in P3 that Jasper has gotten around Bonini. I think this is our action point right here. This group of cars from about Woodall, maybe Albee as well. Yeah, Albee. Albee is up at the front of this pack. A lot of understeer here for Watson. Watson has a good run, as does Lusher on Alessio up there. Lusher inside of Alessio. Now Watson has a good line on Lusher there. But Lusher holds him off. Too wide between Spates and Alacio up there. Heading back up to the front, it's still Isidro in the lead. Isidro is passing Drew White, the lapped car there. Drew is about 5 laps down. Bency also getting around Drew White, as Jasper does as well. As Sanders making a move on Bonini for the 4th position. Only one caution here tonight. Still this battle between Shane Coogan under pressure from Woodall. So actually it's Shane had a damaged car slightly, and he might be holding everybody up, but nobody can get by him. It's the Shane train here. Back from 12th position. Albee looks inside of Woodall, not able to make that move stick. It's the last season's winner, Dakota DeMade, lurking at the back of this train, not wanting to get involved in any incidents that might happen. I think the action place is definitely this Shane Coogan train. As the tires are going to start to wear down, they can do about 29-30 laps. Maybe with a little bit of extra drafting, you can go a little bit further. Alacio able to get around Albee there. As Alacio takes over that 13th spot. So, one thing to note, we were talking about Shane Coogan. He's running laps that are about 4/10 off of what Isidro is doing in the lead. So these guys need to just get around him here. Woodall, that is, needs to get around him, and then I think most of the cars are going to be able to get around him at that point too. Shane Coogan running 11th in the Western Waves media car. Livery is reminiscent of the Target Chip Ganassi run by Jimmy Vasser in the mid-90s, about 1994 or so. 95 maybe. James checking out a little bit as we had a little bit of contact between Woodall and Spates. And now a checkup between several drivers back here. As we are about probably 8 laps from a pit stop. Maybe 6 to 8 laps. Albee looks inside of Spates. Thinks better of it. After that slight bit of contact, Shane Coogan has gapped, as well as Christian Alexa gapping from Woodall there. About a half a second. We complete lap 25 of the scheduled 80 laps here tonight. Heading back up to the front, Isidro, Bensi, Jasper, and Sanders all within about, and that actually includes Morrissey there in 5th, all within a second of one another, as Jasper has a great run on Caleb Bensi. Not going to do anything with it, though. Kind of holds a defensive, because he has to make sure that Gavin doesn't get by in 4th. Caleb looks, thought for a moment to look inside into turn 3. Oh, Jasper gets really high in turn 3. Has to back out of it a little bit, and Sanders comes inside, but Christian kept his foot in it and powers by on the outside there. Jasper able to maintain that position. And we have caution. Not sure who for yet. It is Woodall, is what I'm seeing here. Let's have a look here. We knew that there was a lot of action back here, so as Woodall gets up into the wall and spins it out in the turn 3. Brings out that caution. And this was right at the pit window for everybody, so let's do one more replay here from the onboard with Woodall. And there we have the Binala. Okay, so heading back to live pictures, we're going to see our leaders pit. I don't think there will be any strategy change here. For instance, Dakota, the maid, he's been saving fuel all race, but he's going to have to stop here as well because he's on a 24-lap stint. So our current championship points leader not going to gain anything here. This is right at the window for everybody. Top 10 cars have not hit here tonight. Isidro is going to bring him down. I have to imagine everybody will hit, unless, of course, somebody tries to stay out and maybe lead a lap. But even if they do try something like that, I think they're going to still end up pitting. Looks like we've got somebody staying out. Albee. Stays out. Gets a wave around already? I'm not exactly sure about that. Anyway, heading back up to the pits. Isidro is going to beat out the pole sitter. I see Jasper is going to drop back a couple spots. Gavin Sanders and Morrissey jumps him. So how about a word from our sponsor?
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
The RIL Schaeffer's IndyCar Series is brought to you by Schaeffer's Oil. Do you know your Schaeffer? Raceverse, the broadcast provider ready for you. And iRacing, the newest form of competitive motorsport.
And we are back. We had a car there. It looked like Cosgrove deciding to pit. He was a lapped car, so he's going to try to pit and get some fuel. Isidro is our leader. We've got... That Albie getting another lap back, or who was that? Okay, it was Wheeler is getting 1 lap back. I believe he was 2 laps down. And we'll be coming around here. Lights are out on the pace car, so we'll be going green this lap. So I guess I can mention that after these races, the league here also does a Roval Challenge League on the oval race weeks. And so they're going to run a Pocono Roval race with the IR18s here and ARCA cars in a multi-class event at 10 o'clock here tonight. Not broadcast or anything, but anybody who wants to join it, everybody's able to. So it's actually on Pocono Legacy, so it's actually a free track on the service here. So everybody's welcome to come out, join in some fun with the RIL. Schaeffer's IndyCar Series here. Get a few of the stars joining that league. As we come back to green. Isidro brings us back for another time. Our green flag, really late on the start there. Bensy dropping back several car lengths, and Sanders in a really good spot. Morrissey's jumping out. Goes inside of Sanders. Sanders going to power back on the outside. Not going to work for Morrissey as Bensy takes the high line. Side by side he goes with Isidro. Our order is maintained at this point. Ooh, really high exit from turn 3 there by Sanders, but does not hit the wall or anything like that. Snaking down the back straight, or down the front straightaway in the back there. Side by side in the back of the field is Watson and Albie and Tamade in there, our championship points leader. Sunset Arctic Games, sponsor of Dakota there, currently having an event with the Steam. And you can check out the game now. Echo Blade is available, the demo on Steam. You can download it today. There's also some streaming taking place tonight of the game. Bensy has to check up. Bensy got into the wall, I think, here at the front, because he is slow. Going to have to bring it into the pits, it looks like. So we're going to get a replay of what happened here. Yeah, this is really unfortunate for Caleb here. Let's have a look here. What happened? Probably battling with... Okay, this actually, something happened even before all this. Let's have a look here. Oops. We're still trying to figure out what happened to Caleb there. This has implications for the championship here. Yeah, I think it already happened. Even here, it already happened. So I think it's on the exit of 3, maybe? Not sure exactly, because Caleb takes the lead. You just understeer out of 3? Really not seeing it. Oh, he brushed the wall on the straightaway. That is tough. So Gavin Sanders battling with Isidro at the front. Our championship winner the last 2 seasons looks like it's going to be calling it a day here for Caleb Bensi. As Sanders now works on Isidro. Sanders inside of Isidro, and it looks like he's going to make that stick. A little bit of a slide job, not too bad. And Sanders will take the lead for the moment. Isidro tries to come back on the inside through turn 3, and Isidro is going to take the lead there. And they swap back and forth they go, with Sanders looking inside now once again. This group of 3 cars, Isidro, Sanders, and Morrissey, have checked out from Bonini, and another group of cars that actually includes Shane Coogan involved in that first lap incident. Whoa, Holler. A little bit of contact with Shane Coogan there, trying on the inside. You don't want to be doing any wheel tapping there at 215 miles an hour. Christian Jaspers dropped back with Horatio. They're moving up into the 7th position. Great run for Christian. Up from 27th starting spot. 20 positions here tonight. Heck of a run by Horatio. Dakota has caught Simkowski there in the 13th place, that Elio Castroneves livery. Back up to the front, swapping the lead back and forth between Isidro and Sanders. As we are coming to lap 40 of 80, halfway through 100 miles left to go. There was a twitch there from Isidro, nearly brushing the wall on the exit of turn 2, but so far so good. So I see Gary has joined us there in the chat. He'll be broadcasting another league, but we can talk a little bit about what this track is modeled after. So the 3 corners here, turn 1 is modeled after Trenton Speedway, a speedway that no longer exists. And turn 2, we're coming to right now, is modeled after the Indianapolis corners, kind of reminiscent of those. Heading down to turn 3, and that is modeled after Milwaukee, the Milwaukee flat mile track. Kind of when I see these cars come out of the corner right here, it does remind me of Milwaukee, so they've got it right. That is a lap here at Pocono Raceway, halfway through the race. Oh, we've got Isidro into the wall. similar. Whoa, that was something right there. That was really quick. Looking at what happened there. Isidro was once in the lead. Sanders gets inside. I think that Isidro is just going to end up brushing the wall, and we'll see what happens. Maybe, yeah, brushes the wall off of that turn one Trenton wall, or Trenton corner, and he is heavy into the wall. I do see Bensi has returned to the track. One lap down as everything resets here. Third caution of the night, lap 42. We'll get another word from our great sponsor, Schaeffer's Oil, in a moment right here.
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
You're blind. You're trying to escape from here, aren't you? I want to see how far you can make it before your head is chopped off.
The RIL Schaeffer's IndyCar Series is brought to you by Schaeffer's Oil. Do you know your Schaeffer? Raceverse, the broadcast provider ready for you. And iRacing, the newest form of competitive motorsport.
All right, we are back. So, some pit strategy occurring at that moment there with Gavin Sanders' top 5 cars. Bonini, actually, it's not top 5 cars. Yeah, it is top 5 cars. Sanders, Bonini, Holler, Jasper, and Schlegel have opted to stay out on their older tires, whereas Shane Coogan, the cars behind Shane, have gone ahead and stopped for some new tires. So we've got cars in the top 5, 14-lap-old tires, and cars behind them are going to have new tires at this restart. So interesting choice there. I saw during the commercial break, Gavin fake that he was going to pit, and then at the last moment pulled out of that. So this would be 36 laps to the end. Could be doable with a couple cautions, but almost impossible for Shane or anybody behind Shane to make 35 laps if it goes full green. So looks like we're going to have 35 laps to the end at the restart, so that is a lot of fuel saving. It basically cannot be done. Looks like Dakota has actually topped up his fuel. So he'll give a little bit extra. Saw Caleb Bensi in there too, but Caleb is a lap down. Just trying to get some championship points. Starting in a little bit of a hole this season. But we run the IndyCar points, so you can overcome that in the 12 races that we have with that one drop week. So we're going to see what Shane Coogan and his group of cars can do with these fresh tires. I don't think that it will set them too far ahead at the start, but near the end of the run it might start affecting, as in another maybe 15 laps, Sanders and that group are going to have to pit. So this is pretty interesting strategy that's going to play out here tonight. Really good run by Bonini tonight. But incredible run by Sanders from P26 to first. Made about half of those positions in the first lap. The pace car is going to duck in. Really good start by Sanders here. No pressure from behind from Sanders, or from Bonini. Shane Coogan with those fresh tires. We'll see what he can do. As he's going to look inside of Jasper, I imagine. There it goes. Had a good run on Christian here. Christian powers through on that outside line. Now Shane's going to come under pressure from Morrissey here. As Bonini takes the lead for the moment, side by side with Sanders. You saw it flash that Bonini was in the lead, but Sanders powers back on the outside line. Sanders does a little bit of the snake move on the back straightaway there. Trying to disrupt that toe that Bonini's getting. Schlegel looking inside of Jasper. Jasper's really liking that high line, and he's able to defend with it. Keep everybody behind him. Shane's dropped back a couple spots with Christian Alessio, pardon me. Moving up to 6th spot. Inside goes Coogan. Up at the front is the battle between Bonini and Sanders. "32 laps to go." This group of cars is about a dozen laps away from having to pit. And then they'll be good to go to the end. No questions asked. Side by side. Bonini having the outside line now. We'll see if he can make that work. By pinning Sanders low. No, that's not going to work. Swapping the lead between Sanders and Bonini. Bonini takes the lead there. Sanders gets right on his gearbox as they run down to turn 2. Side by side they go through turn 2. Sanders maintains that lead. And we begin our 50th lap here, 30 laps to go. Trying to look for any other battles that might be taking place. There's a lot of single file back there, really close positions between everybody. That high line through all these corners, everybody's kind of figured that out now, that you want to hold that high line. That's how you get around and pass people and hold off people. And once again, Bonini takes the lead momentarily. Got Holler. So who's in a really good spot is Morrissey here. He's one of the cars that did pit there. Only 7 lap old tires. Ben Coogan, another one of them, but he had Morrissey get around him at that restart. As they continue to battle for the lead at the front. Watson looking inside of Lusher. Battle for 14th position. Lusher running that high line. Back and forth at the front. Let's go on board with Holler here. Good view of this battle from the front. Best seats in the house. Side by side is Sanders and Benini. Fuller gets a little bit, moves up the track a little bit on these guys battling at the front. So those are some laps from Holler here. Now these cars that have pit are getting around Jasper here. Jasper on the older tires. Oh, big run up the track by Coogan there. Nearly coming into contact with that wall. Now he's under pressure from Alacio. Not going to make it happen though. Benini has that lead for the moment. Just swapping back and forth. Can't hold a lead here tonight, apparently. Benini now coming under pressure from Holler. Benini had to get out of it slightly. That puts a Gavin Sanders in a really good position as he's coming up to a lapped car that is Albee. Shane Coogan under pressure from Alacio. About a 0.6 of a second between Sanders and Benini. This is going to come down to about 5 laps, and we're going to be probably having some pit stops here. So they might want... Whoa, we've got contact. I saw it at the back. It was Albee, the lapped car, I believe. Yeah, so no caution, but I want to get a replay of that. I think Jasper might have got into the lapped car of Albee. Thought for a moment it was a different lapped car of Drew White, but see what happened here. This is a replay. It's a really good run, but Jasper just comes up the track. Oh boy. not a fun ride there for Albie here tonight. Back up to the front, going to live picture. Jasper dropped back a spot there. Looks like no damage, but Shane Coogan able to get around him. Just a tenth of a second between Sanders and Bonini at this point. Once again, we almost had that caution. That would have been pretty good for Sanders. Anybody else that needs to pit here tonight, which if we go green to the end, as I thought I heard something. No? Okay. Thought I heard some carbon fiber crunch there. Okay. Everybody, if we go green to the end, has to pit, so. Schlegel's kind of in the worst of this strategy. He's going to have to pit. He's 11th. Fuller working on Bonini there. Looks like Bonini just might have used up his tires here, and it's dropped back from Sanders from all that battling these two cars were doing. Two-tenths of a second back to Morrissey. It's a big gap back to Morrissey. Everybody's last lap has been pretty slow. I'm not sure. They're a little bit off of what they were running earlier in the race. Looking back at 15th spot. As we have Gavin Sanders heading to the pit lane. 20 laps to go. As we have caution on the track. Oh, we've got a big crash. Gonna have to figure out who that is. Kresge, our admin in the league. That actually could be really good. I'm not sure what the strategy call is going to be with Sanders there. Let's see what happened here. Is it in front of Kresge? I think it's going to be... Yeah, oh, okay. We've got Jasper up into the wall as well. Oof. That was a big one. Through turn 2, Jasper goes, heading down into turn 3. This is the replay. Oh, Jasper just hits the pit attenuator, comes back across the track. Not sure who else that was. See if we can get some identification there. I believe it was Cosgrove there. Oof, that was a tough one there. So everything's going to reset here with about 15, 16 laps to the end. I'm still not sure if these cars that have been out here, Morrissey and Shane Coogan and a bunch of these other cars back to DeMade in 12th, whether they can make it to the end or not. Bonini and Holler, they're definitely going to have to pit. They were right at the window right now. And then you have Gavin Sanders in 13th position. He just pit. So we'll go to commercial, and then we'll figure out what the strategy is when we're back.
Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, you know, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil, having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us some support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.
You're blind. You're trying to escape from here, aren't you? I want to see how far you can make it before your head is chopped off.
The RIL Schaeffer's IndyCar Series is brought to you by Schaeffer's Oil. Do you know your Schaeffer? Raceverse, the broadcast provider ready for you. And iRacing, the newest form of competitive motorsport.
All right, we are back. Commercial break, resetting everything for tonight. So a lot of cars pit at that pit stop. We had a bunch of cars were resetting. The only two cars to stay out were Spates and Dakota DeMade. So we're going to see Gavin Sanders now up to third position. Got Neil Lusher is in 15th. And between Morrissey and Sanders there. So this is going to be a really interesting. So Dakota and Spate's strategy is they would assume that there's going to be one more caution. And if there is one more caution, they can make it to the end. And I bet even without that one more caution, there's a chance that Dakota might have saved enough fuel with the first half of that stint. But he does have older tires. So that's the strategy that we're running here tonight. This is the Schaeffer's IndyCar Series and the RIL. Green flag. See if Dakota just tries to go for it here. Our winner from last season. A lot of action here tonight. 65 laps in, 15 laps to go. 200 miles here tonight. And Dakota is going to take that lead really slow by Spates there in third. As Gavin Sanders also looking to get around the maid. Inside goes Gavin. We'll see what Dakota wants to do here. Is this just some fuel saving at this moment? Oh boy, we were really close between Morrissey there and Spates. Lusher is a lapped car going inside of Morrissey. Wants to get his lap back. Dakota might just be fine sticking in the draft. Oh, we have caution. Cars slowed up there. We're trying to figure out who it was. Oh, yeah, it might have been Isidro, but I thought Isidro... Did he get back out on the track? No, this cannot be correct. Let's see. It's got to be Isidro because he was running... Okay, so here it was. Okay, there was already action back there. There was another car already up there. Oh boy, there was a lot of cars involved in this one. Let's see if we can get her, go back on this one and see what happened. That was late to the accident, was that Bonini was involved with a tough break for Bonini there. It actually, okay, it was between Shane Coogan here. Just tapping. Bonini was Shane. Great job by Alicia getting around it. That was Simkowski, Watson, Caleb Bensi just dodging it there. Other cars behind getting involved. Albee involved. Did Bensi make it through this? He did. Alicia did not make it through that. So let's see in the slow-mo replay what happened there. I thought he made it through, but there's a big bump down here. And there it is. You can see his car just went right into that bump and right into the inside wall there. So this, however, is exactly what Dakota wanted, and Spates for that matter, because they have not pit and they can definitely make it to the end of this race at this point now. But can they hold off the cars behind them, Morrissey and the rest of the field, with those fresh tires? Shane Coogan and the war is here tonight. Neil Lusher getting his lap back. He is the lucky dog. We do lucky dogs here. Not totally against the lucky dog. Maybe one of the few NASCAR, like the only NASCAR rule that is probably okay. But IndyCar does the waiver rounds anyway, so. So basically, in terms of strategy, Gavin Sanders, our leader, 7 laps on his tires. That includes several laps of caution. Dakota and Andrew Spates have 24 laps on their tires. And then Morrissey and everybody else also have like 5 laps on their tires, so fresh tires. I think we can do one more commercial here. I know you guys probably don't like it, but sponsors pay the bills. So shout out to Schaeffer's Oil for sponsoring the series here, getting you these broadcasts.
There's 2 types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
All right, back. Lights on the pace car are out. This is the Schaeffer's IndyCar Series, sponsored or presented by Race First. This is the RIL IndyCar Series. Got about Gonna go back to green with about 10 laps to go here. Our championship leader in second place. Winner from last season, but I'm not sure that Dakota quite has the tires to make this work, although he should have the fuel now. Long pace lap here. Caleb Bency through the attrition back up to 10th position. So a good thing he kept it going here tonight. Get that championship run back on task with a top 10. Here we go. Green flag. Gavin's had some really good starts here tonight. Really spread out field. See Shane Coogan getting around Holler there for the 5th spot. It's go time now. Nobody's saving fuel. Everybody's going for it. Sunset Arctic versus VOR, Velocity Online Racing versus Aero. Another livery, I'm not sure what that one is. Western Waves Media there in 5th. Kyle Mundell battling with Michael Holler there. Scott Wheeler in 8th. Neil Lusher, a great run here tonight, 22nd spot, getting his lap back, so he's run a few more laps, or a lap more than anybody else out here from 22nd position. Those are all of our cars on the lead lap. Gavin Sanders representing Club Canada. We go on board with Morrissey as DeMade looks inside. Gonna take over that lead. Slide job up the track out of the exit of turn 1. Sanders gonna have a good run on him. So far, so good for Dakota there, though. Now Morrissey's gonna look inside. Drifting up the track is Morrissey. Over and under by DeMade there. Great move by DeMade. Right on Dakota's gearbox is Morrissey. Spates is just hanging out there in 4th and not involved with his battle. As with Shane Coogan as well. Sanders snakes on the straightaway, trying to disrupt that draft. Everybody's doing it back there, as you can see. A lot of attrition here tonight. But a lot of cars still running, with that said. But 16 cars on the track at the moment. Scott Wheeler battling, and so Scott Wheeler was let down a lap at one point in time, battling with Holler and Lusher, but I want to keep an eye on that battle at the front. We have 6 laps to go. You have about 3/10 between 1st and 3rd. This is the first season that we've run the new Pocono Raceway as opposed to the legacy version. As Dakota goes for the inside lead. Oh boy. Morrissey looking really low there. Thought there was about to be contact. Sanders leads that lap. Spates is moving up a little bit with these guys battling one another. Spates gaining a little bit of ground back there. 5 laps to go here. Dakota looking inside into turn 3. He's got the older tires. Gonna scrub a little bit more. Gonna try to find out what works for it to make that kind of move on the last lap. But I imagine that Sanders is going to defend from that kind of move a whole lot more than he is right now with 4 laps to go. Slow car of Watson inside. Doesn't want to get involved in this battle. Good sportsmanship there. Don't run over that bump on the back straightaway there. Inside, 3 wide into turn 3. Dakota backs out of it. Morrissey trying to make a move for the win here tonight. Representing Club Pennsylvania. He wants that win. And he's momentarily in the lead. Sanders comes back on the inside. Dakota under pressure from Shane Coogan back there. Spates got around him as well. Morrissey's really aggressive here. He wants this win. Rookie in the series. As we have 5 miles to go here at Pocono. This is the Schaeffer's IndyCar Series. Battle for the front. Side by side. Into turn 2. Dakota DeMade trying to make it move on Spates for third. Back into third is DeMade. Morrissey's got a good car. He's able to keep this lead when he gets it. 1 more lap to go. That is white flag. 1 more lap to go. Side by side. Sanders looks inside. Final lap. Oh boy, Morrissey gets into the wall. DeMade is going to get around him. 4P2. Can Morrissey maintain that third position? I'm not sure he can. Up at the front though. Gavin Sanders in a good position. Dakota's going to try everything he can. And down to the apron is Gavin Sanders is going to win the race here. Morrissey holds on with that slight wall brush for third. Fastest lap of the race was Gavin Sanders there. Heck of a run by Gavin Sanders. Well, we'll let these drivers cool down, and we'll be back for their interviews here. We'll keep an eye on what Gavin's doing here, though. So that's Victory Donuts here at Pocono. A VOR in the Victory Lane. Fat bastard, he's going to name those things off here. Well, congrats to Gavin here. We'll get an interview with him. And I'll be right back while we get that interview set up. Back. Hey, Gavin, this is Matt in the booth.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Well, how about you? Tell me about your race.
A lot better now. It was good. I didn't really get to grips with the qual set as much as I would have liked. So kind of qualified second last. But I feel like I have a lot of confidence when it comes to being able to kind of pick my way through the field and pick the right lane, and a lot of confidence getting up near the walls. So it was a bit of a smooth kind of run up to the front, and then from there, no fuel strategy this time, thankfully. So uh, didn't get bitten, and kind of had a good race with Dakota and Caleb there at the end, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you ducked into the pits, and right when you did that, there was that big accident, and the caution came out. You probably felt pretty good about that. I assume that you didn't have to worry about, say, Dakota or anybody trying to fuel save out for like 35 laps or something like that. But yeah, you qualified 26th. I wasn't sure if you did that on purpose or what. Because I noticed that you gained 26 spots here tonight, so that's pretty good. You gained about half of those in probably the first lap. So that was pretty impressive to see. Is this your first win here at Pocono?
Yes,
okay,
yes,
well.
it is. I was not very good here before, and then kind of got on a roll, and I feel like I have a good handle on it now.
Well, last
So
season
it's
we were
fun to get
running.
one.
Last season we were running Legacy. I think the last 2 seasons we ran Legacy here, and this was the first time we ran the newer, smoother version.
Yeah.
So great run here. Hey, any sponsors, any family, anybody watching that you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to my dad, and shout out to Fat Bastard Burrito, Braden Motorsports, Alpine Stars, and Team Velocity Online Racing. And yeah, I appreciate the broadcast, and we'll see you next time.
Sounds good. Well, you got some wins this week so far. So in VOR on Saturday, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, let's keep it going. Let's hope.
I don't know if I can say I'll hope for that, but best of luck there, Gavin.
Thank you. You guys too.
Yep, thanks.
See ya.
All right, we'll bring Dakota Damage up to the broadcast booth. Hey, Dakota.
Hi, Matt.
Congratulations. Wow, you're really loud.
Sorry.
Well, it's because I talk to you a lot, so
That
you're
always
loud.
happens. Again.
So you started 23rd. Was that on purpose, or is that just the strategy? Like that's what you could do in qualifying? Because that's what.
Absolutely not. I don't know what happened with that qualifying setup. I was flat out the whole time, and the next thing I do look, and me and Gavin are at the bottom of the list. So.
Yeah, that's what I asked Gavin too. I was like, "You guys do that on purpose," and it worked out with that first lap thing.
Not the way I intended it, but I knew that this was kind of gonna be an attrition race.
Yeah.
It tends to be the nature of Pocono. So I just held it down in fuel mode 5 for quite a while. Tried to do a repeat on a fuel strategy.
You think you could have actually done that?
Nope.
It was going to be like
Nope. I was a lap short. Well, I was about a half lap short, and my pace was completely off. But then those 2 cautions came out, and I was like, "That's it. I'm good to go." And so.
Yeah, I was surprised when Shane pulled in. Like everybody other than you and Spates pulled in. I was surprised that Shane didn't stay out. So
I didn't think anybody had enough fuel, so I was actually surprised Spates did stay out there. So even then, I think he was fuel saving too, because I passed him right away on the start. But yeah. that's what's great about Pocono. I think it's a very strategic race. This race was even more packier than usual.
Yeah,
So
it was. They were able to swap the lead really kind of, I wouldn't want to say easy, but a little bit like
mhm.
Indianapolis, real life, back and forth.
Yeah, I was trying to time up my run right just to get the lead on the last lap. But um, yeah, I got passed by a couple cars,
Yeah, you
but
got back up to third though, so
I
or,
did,
and then got
and
up at
then
second. I
Caleb
think
hit
you're
the
back.
wall in the last lap, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, am I gonna hit him? I'm not lifting.
That's the way
So
you do
yeah,
it.
it worked
Well,
out.
great run here tonight. Anybody watching, any family, friends, and any shout outs to sponsors?
Yeah, shout out to Lucas, Alyssa. I know they're watching right now, and sponsors, Sunset Arctic Games just came out with Echo Blade. There's a demo on the Steam store right now, part of the Steam Next Fest festival. So you guys can download the demo now for the week, and then you can play it and give some feedback. I got a Discord, a Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Sunset Arctic. Check out Echo Blade on Steam. I also have Voltic Pistol on Steam. That'll go on sale on the summer sale next week. So, yeah.
Sounds good. Well, good luck at the
And
Roval in about a half hour.
thank you. Special shout out to Caleb too. He had a rough race. Caleb Bensi.
Yeah.
He helped me feel safe a bit too, so that was
He
that was good.
somehow made it back up to 10th, but
He
through
did.
all that attrition. But I thought he was just going to pull it off, but like it was like, I'm done with this. But he's kept it out there. So good run by Caleb, too. All right.
All right. Well, thank you, Matt.
Yep. I'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
All right. We've got Caleb Morrissey. I'm hoping that I say that name correctly in the booth here. How are you doing there, Caleb?
I'm doing great, Matt. Yeah, you didn't butcher it at all. You're great.
Good. Well, tell me about your race. You started 10th, you finished third, you were up to second battling, and well, up to first battling for the lead. Looked like you had a little bit of wall contact, but you were going for it, is what I figured you were doing.
Yeah, we had a solid qualifying effort. I'm not really great at qualifying, so I'll take 10th place just about anywhere, anytime in qualifying, and just really worked our way up really quickly. I definitely didn't want to be in as much dirty air as possible, and somehow found my way up towards the front, and things just kind of worked out well from there strategy wise, and made sure I stayed out of trouble. And like you said, I was just kind of going for it there at the end. My original thought was I didn't want to give him the bottom in the straightaway coming to
Hmm.
turn one, and then I gave him the bottom, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll just go high in turn one and two, and I went high in turn one, and then I just for some reason kept going low and hit the bottom, and the bottom spit me up and chewed me out into the wall, but still recovered for a third place, and I'm really happy with that.
Honestly, I was surprised that you maintained third, like, because it looked like a pretty good wall hit, and you had, Shane and Spates behind you, a bunch of, like a hornet's nest behind you of cars that were trying to take that position from you, but you held on. You almost like a willpower in his qualifying effort in Indianapolis, where you just kept your foot in it and you kept that third position. So not easy.
This is all relatively new to me. I know a lot of the guys that are the senior guys. They're like doing weight jacker and playing with the map, and there's a couple other things they're adjusting. I'm relatively new, so there wasn't too much adjusting
Hmm.
for me in the car. We'll have to work on that, but I'm very, very happy with my oval debut for this series, and I'm excited to keep going forward and moving on in the series. The road courses are always going to be a struggle, but the ovals, hopefully, I can be a factor just about everywhere else we go.
Sounds good. Hey, any shout outs, anybody watching, any sponsors, anything like that?
Yeah, I want to thank you at Raceverse, Matt. I thought you did a great job. The little bit that I could hear during the race, so I'm going to go ahead and play it back. So very appreciative of that. Schaeffer's Oil, thanks for sponsoring the league, and I can't quite remember who runs this league.
Christopher
Christopher.
Kresge.
Christopher Kresge. Thanks to him for letting me join this league. Yeah, man, I'm really happy to be here. Hopefully, I can keep running.
Sounds good. Hey, one final thought I had. Club Pennsylvania, I see for you. So is this kind of your home track?
This is my home track. I've actually been to a couple. Unfortunately, the last race I went to was the one that Wilson unfortunately passed away in.
Oh,
But
yeah.
But I try and think of better positive memories of this track, and this is going to be one of them.
Sounds good. Well, great run here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next week's Daytona Roval. Then we're going to be off. I'm not sure what our return race is after the week off, but it'll be Daytona Roval next week. You said you had maybe some learning to do on the road courses, but we'll see you then.
Yeah, and I believe the the race after the break is going to be Indy, so that's obviously very much circled in to my schedule. Like 3 times circled over.
Sounds good. Well, you take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you then.
All right.
All right, that's it for us here tonight. We'll go through the final results here. We've got Gavin Sanders in P1, Dakota DeMage in P2, Caleb Morrissey in P3, Shane Coogan in P4, Andrew Spates in P5, Kyle Mundell P6, Scott Wheeler, Neil Lusher, Michael Holler, Caleb Bensi recovering for P10, Christian Alessio had a great run here tonight, finishes 11th, Matt Crossgrove, Fresky, Watson, Bonini, and heading back on, Drew White, Chris Albee, Alex Simkowski, Hannah Schlegel, Steven Ritters, Nicholas Isidro had a really strong run early on before catching the wall. Christian Jasper as well, a good run early on. Lewis Woodall, Joseph DeCiro, Jonathan Libertor, Lucas Santos, and Thomas Yates. So that is it for us here tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back same time, same place next week for Daytona Roval.
Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, you know, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil, having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us some support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.